Just like a... I can't even do it. I didn't take it up to a breath. Little like... Just laughing.
Yeah.
You can't do that when you're laughing. You expel all the air.
What if you expel the air in a way that makes you laugh while you're accelerating, shifting gears?
You just sound like a horse.
Welcome back to Last Play. We sound like horses. Apparently. And
oh my God.
Was it raining when we last left off? I don't feel like it was raining when we last left off.
I am not a doctor. Is this like, oh my God, is this one of those creepy things?
Congrats.
Like, I used to play Animal Crossing a lot. I should really take out my DS and play Animal Crossing now that it's summer. Anyway, I used to play Animal Crossing a lot. And somehow, the game's really creepy. And, like, not just knows the seasons of where you live, because, you know, that's probably fairly easy to program. It's like, detect the time zone of the DS, and then, you know, go based on those seasons. That's, like, that's not creepy. But, like, it knew specifically what the weather was like outside. Like, what? The day that I discovered this, it was winter. But it wasn't a particularly cold day. It wasn't snowing. There was just snow on the ground. And, but it was very slippery. And, I was running around doing my chores, yada, yada, yada. And my character biffs it. And I was like, what the, I thought it was like some kind of special event, because that had never happened before. And then, like, but nothing happens. I'm like, okay. And I keep going, and it happens again, and I'm like, oh my God. It knows it's super icy outside, and so now it's slippery in the game. Like, what? And, like, days it was raining outside, it was raining in my game, and I'm like, this is too much. And so now I'm, like, paranoid that secretly Final Fantasy 15 knows. But it's not rainy today, but it was very rainy and windy yesterday, so...
True. Well, I mean, the weather outside is at the point where, like, it might just rain at any given moment. I don't know.
Yeah, like, looking out the window, actually, it looks pretty windy right now. So, yeah, it could, in the next few hours, just, like, turn into another rainstorm. Who knows?
Yeah.
We're in a bit of a tornado watch right now. So, like, basically they told us, hey, winds are going to get real intense. Rain's going to get real intense. Be careful.
That seems like a good warning.
Like,
things are going to get intense. Watch out.
Yesterday was actually really bad. There were a lot of trees, like, big, old trees, like, strong trees that got knocked over all over the city. Some people rode off their cars because trees landed on their cars. And at the daycare where I work, it's in the basement of a school. And so out in the schoolyard, one of the trees fell, and it's kind of on the edge of the school grounds, so there's just a chain fence, like a metal fence, right beside this tree. And it fell over on top of the fence and hit not the actual bus shelter itself, but just that general area of the bus stop. You couldn't sit on the bench of the bus stop because it's just a giant tree in the way, and it like slightly protruded out onto the road. So that's fun.
Okay, yeah. See, it's I was thinking about like how easy it actually would be to program it to know the weather, because it's like online sources of like what the weather is like are fairly common to the point where it'd be pretty easy for you to know, like, generally, like, is it raining in this particular city? Is it raining in this particular area? And so if you just, since a lot of games already like know generally what your GPS location is, or even what your city is, if it's not that specific, all you really need to do is like have it connect to a server that's like, is it raining? Yes/no. Then make it rain in game. Is it is it like did an ice warning just come out? Then let's put that in the game that it's slippery. It would actually. There's enough resources there to make it surprisingly simple to make it match the weather outside.
But no further.
Is it? Would it be? Like I'm just thinking of DS games specifically. Would it use my Wi-Fi connection to know where I am? Like, how would it know?
Could. There's your Wi-Fi usually has location information put into it, but it's it's rarely as specific as what city you're in. It's usually country.
Oh, okay. That's
and so,
very vague.
Yeah.
Canada's a big place.
That being said, when you have a DS, it like says what province you're in, and you actually put in your city information too when you make your Mii. And so it probably just stole from that to use in Animal Crossing. It's a thing that video games have been doing more and more recently, where they use like real world information they have on you, because they have real world information on you because that's just how things work these days. And it's actually bringing up a huge ethical question of like, what information should you be allowed to use? What information should you refrain from using?
Yeah.
Like, how deep of a dive should you do when you're using all this information? For stuff like this, where it's Animal Crossing looking at the weather in your region to adjust the game, seems pretty minor.
Yeah.
But if it's like Animal Crossing knows who your mom is and makes her phone you in game,
yeah, it's like
there's some lines that could be crossed there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that could be a problem.
Unrelated, the weather outside has turned from looks like it's about to rain any moment to nice summer day.
Yeah, it was kind of gloomy before, but yeah, beautiful blue skies now.
This is what it's like to live in Edmonton. The weather shifts constantly. That being said, that's like a myth of almost everywhere that has regular periods of rain.
Well, yeah.
Because, that's what they say about England. That's what they say about Vancouver. I think every city I've heard people talk about the weather, it's like, oh, the weather will just drop on a dime. Be careful. I'm like, okay, but, isn't that just what weather does?
Yeah. Okay, edgelord. Is your city really that unique in this sense?
You never know what's up with that weather. You think you can predict the weather, but it's got something for you.
What was I going to say? I lost it. We were talking about the weather. Oh, yeah. There was this radio commercial on for a while, and it starts off with oh, there's a saying in Alberta, if you don't like the weather, just wait a few minutes and it'll change. And I'm like, I've literally never heard anyone say that. What? But it ties into that's a lot of places. What?
Yeah, that's what the weather is literally all over the place. To be fair, I would have enjoyed the joke. If you don't like the weather in Alberta, just wait a couple of minutes and it'll be snowing again.
Wish I could help, but I'm
Don't use the S word around me. It's May.
I mean, there's still a chance.
I want to be happy. No, May long has happened. We're safe.
That is true. This is officially the time when you're allowed to plant flowers and be fairly confident they're not going to get frozen.
Yeah.
And I say fairly confident because, as I was saying, we've had snow every single month. In each month, we have had snow.
In our history.
Because when I was growing up, it was at the point where we've had random snowfalls in every month except for August. Which makes sense because August is
hot?
Yeah. It's the middle of summer.
I mean, is it the middle?
It basically is it's a month after June.
I mean...
It's a month and a half after the first day of summer. June 21st-ish.
Okay, but when is the first day of fall? Officially.
September... Or is it August? Isn't September 20th? September 15th?
I feel like it's approximately that.
Yeah,
September
so
20th.
halfway between September 15th-ish and June 22nd,
alright.
It's August.
So if you want to be a real technical dink about when summer is, it starts in, what, is it mid-June or when is it?
Late June. Summer starts in late June.
Okay, so if you want to be a real technical dink, it starts in late June and it ends in late September.
So it looks like August is the middle
However, that's BS. We don't get spring here.
That's not
so summer starts whenever the snow melts. So, and stays away.
Now-
so basically, approximately mid-May, summer starts, and then it ends, like, early September. So would you still call August the middle of summer?
Yes, because here's the thing about this. Here's the thing about this. Science is what determines what actual seasons are, and August / like late July / August is when it is at the like prime definition of what summer is, with the northern hemisphere just pointing directly towards the sun.
All right, bro. I know how that works. I literally just taught that.
And yet you're
grade
still
students.
trying to argue that August
Okay,
is not the middle
no,
of summer.
Listen to me. I don't care about technical freaking dates because.
It's not even technical, it's literal dates.
Okay, no, because that's just not the reality where we live. That's just not how the seasons work.
But August is the hottest month. Regardless of like the fact it's not necessarily the middle of an arbitrarily defined what happens weather-wise.
Yeah, I was gonna say I fail to see how it being the hottest month justifies your
Argument that it's the
middle
hottest
of
month.
the summer. No, I'm saying that doesn't support your middle of the summer or whatever.
Yes, it kind of does because it's the height of heat.
No.
Also, the whole point of this was to establish that we once got snow in August. I feel like we got sidetracked a little bit.
That's fine. It's our job to talk.
I'm not saying we shouldn't be talking. I'm just saying that I was making a point originally that August is a very, very hot month. Therefore, getting snow in August was quite the impressive thing. Oh no, we have a time limit now to kill imps. Alright, here we go. Ooh, do we have... this... Oh, this hunter is Gladiolus, for sure. Because he has all of Gladiolus' abilities, using a greatsword. Thing is Tempest. I'm calling it right now. Of course, I wasn't paying attention enough to realize why we're here in the first place.
Yeah, you know, I was just gonna say that.
We're in these like hazmat suits and...
You know, I've been like looking out the window to check out the weather. Also, oh my god, the sky is gray now.
Oh, nice.
It's funny, we've got like from my window I can see half the sky is blue, half the sky is gray. You see what I mean?
Welcome back to Weather Checkup Play.
This is incredible. It's actually really terrible when I go to work and it's like rainy like this because the kids get all like riled up because they want to go outside and we're like, nope, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Because frankly, like, part of me goes, oh my god, like, we shelter kids too much these days. Schools are all concerned about getting sued, so they're like, oh, don't do these basic playful things because it's dangerous. And I'm like, is it dangerous or is it just freaking, like, kids playing? Like, calm down. But, like, the problem with playing outside in the rain is that not all the kids are dressed to play in the rain. Like, some of them got sent to school in a t-shirt and shorts, and they have no coat, and they're in flip-flops. Some of them are prepared to go outside, have a raincoat and boots and whatever. But some of them, it's like, you would freeze and soak and be miserable.
Yeah.
So, like, we can't...
We should also...
take everyone out.
Also, the other day, the winds were reaching up to 90 kilometers an hour, so...
Yesterday.
Thank you
Yes, yeah, yesterday specifically, it was like, no, hard no. There are literally trees being knocked over, we're keeping you inside.
Called it. Gladiolus was the hunter.
But, that also has its troubles too, because, like, the kids know that there are tornado watches on, and so they hear that trees are falling over, and they start freaking out! Like, I had a kid, like, borderline spiraling into a panic attack yesterday that I had to, like, talk down. Like, my coworker, my supervisor, you could just tell is, like, not familiar with, like, the signs of someone's really freaking out beyond reason. And so she was just like, don't worry, it's fine. And I'm just like, move over. Like, I will handle this.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so we have a kid that's about to freak out. We can't just say, they'll be fine.
Yeah, like, she basically just went up and was like, don't worry, it's fine.
It's
and
like,
I'm like, okay, but I'm going to actually deal with this problem.
8-year-olds aren't known to be extremely emotional and have random outbursts. Okay.
She's older than that.
10?
She's like 10, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember what grade she's in.
I feel like that still applies, that 10-year-olds are not known to be in control of their emotions.
Well, she's getting there at her age, but like...
Yeah. For
But,
her
like,
age, she's pretty good, but...
She's usually like a pretty grounded, pretty chill kid. So, like, I know when she looks like this and when she's talking like this, she's in a bad place. So, I was just like, move over, I will handle this, and like, actually got her to calm down.
Alright, time to rescue this kid from anxiety.
Right?
I've been living my whole life to deal with this.
Yeah, it's like, it's almost like me with an eating disorder am more prepared, like, to deal with this than you are. Just get out of my way. Like, but no, it was actually really nice that I was able to help her that way.
It's always good when it's like, that's kind of the point of teaching. It's like, wow, this is a really terrible thing that you have to deal with. Let me tell you how to make it less terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, but it was constant reassuring of, like, there's a tornado watch, which is different than a tornado warning. Like, we are not in tornado warning. There's not a tornado out there. If there were, we would be doing more. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's like, but... also, we're in the basement, so that's the best place to be already. So, like, yeah, don't worry about it. If it was actual, like, oh yeah, there's a tornado outside, we wouldn't just be like, go ahead and play, kids, it's fine.
Yeah, it's like, we could be concerned, but you know what? Tornadoes solve themselves. Yeah. This is not an issue that requires our intervention. Oh, I didn't know that there was a thing here. Nice.
Yeah, it had them all off.
Oh, dang, look at all these side quests we can do. Oh, I know what I'm doing later today. I can't afford to eat. Good stuff.
Same.
How do you know me so well, game? What's this?
The game is watching us.
Restaurant food? That's some bougie stuff that I can't afford. I'm gonna go take a trip back to the McDonald's and order from the value menu. Thank you very much.
Or the coupons. We have coupons.
True. McDonald's coupons are the way to go. Actually, that is one thing that I've thought about. Like, as someone who wants to be a writer, I've often thought about things to write that are pretty much guaranteed to sell to publishers. And, like, the one big industry is, like, self-help / nonfiction / like, advice books, which is still, like, pretty common. And it's like, what is the one talent I have that I could put into a book? And I would call it, basically, thrifty eating, how to survive while spending as little money as possible.
Yeah, actually.
And it would be about, like, all of these, like, tips on, like, how to eat, how to, like, make food that is relatively inexpensive, how to, like, go to McDonald's, like, and spend less than... Wait, what's happening?
Yeah, like, it's like a cross between, like, a college cookbook and, like... I don't know, I guess it's a cross between a cookbook and then those books that are, like, prepare for adulting life.
Yeah.
Like, combined.
Thank you. Oh, this is even the shop I was looking for. Yeah, because I have a lot of, like... There's certain... Over the years, I've learned, like, where you can eat, where it's relatively... Not even relatively cheap. Like, there's a lot of... Oh, this is even where I needed to go. I need to go 1 mile that way. Oh, that's because my quest changed. Never mind. Like, because there's a certain limit to how much you can eat rice and beans every day and still feel like you're surviving and not just being...
Yeah, feel like you're a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, the best advice technically is just, eat as cheaply as possible. Rice and beans is quite possibly the least expensive meal you can have that still will fill most of your dietary needs. Mm-hmm. But that's terrible advice. In the same way that, like, abstinence-only education is terrible advice for kids, it's like, you can't have a system of, like, oh, if you're perfect and never make a mistake, and never have, like, desires or, like, temptations, you'll do perfectly fine.
Yeah, like, lol.
Oh, we got the noodle
We
side
could
quest.
make a religion out of this.
You could make a religion. No, don't.
No, don't.
We already have.
Oh, Gladiolus, do you want to go to noodles? Oh, any food may taste better when you're good. Yes, thank you, Gladiolus. That's basic cooking, but we can't afford that. We're putting a thrifty cookbook together.
Cup noodles.
This is the legendary noodle side quest. I'm glad we're having this.
It's actually, like, solid advice that he's telling right now. Like, take the crappy cup noodles and then, like, add veggies to it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're less of a garbage can for eating this now. Because the cave. Now, for those who don't know, Tyler is half Chinese. So, I have experienced a lot more of, like, good, real Chinese food now. And that also goes for instant noodles. And the thing is, like, the stuff that is usually bought, like, let's be real, by, like, non-Asian people, is, like, Mr. Noodle, Ichiban is, like, the fancy of non-Asian instant noodles.
And Ichiban isn't even particularly bad.
Even it is not as good as the stuff I eat now that I'm dating you.
Yeah.
Like, I can't eat it now that I've had Gendaimen. Like, I can't. But, yeah, I can't remember any other brands. Anyway, whatever. The problem with those is they're even saltier and, like, less, diverse in flavor. But also, people usually drink the broth and, like...
Yeah, like, advice, never drink the broth for
Don't
instant
drink the
ramen.
broth.
The amount of salt and MSG in that is actually super unhealthy.
Like, it's way healthier for you if you just don't drink the broth.
And I've heard a lot of people like, yeah, but the broth tastes so good. It's like, yes, because it's like 50% salt and MSG.
And
like,
it's meant to be, like, the thing Tyler taught me that really was like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, like, it's not for you to drink, it's to flavor everything else in the soup. So everything else in the soup soaks up that broth, absorbs that flavor, and you eat those things, but you don't drink the broth.
Yeah, because it's sort of like passed down knowledge in Chinese culture that, like, you don't drink that broth because it's actually really bad for you. Mm-hmm. But the amount that you actually drink net, if you just eat, like, the noodles attached to it, is pretty low. And so you take something that literally has, like, a day and a half value of salt and just toss it out rather than putting it in your body, and suddenly you're having a good time.
Yeah, so it's really not that bad for you if you just take out the fact of drinking the broth, but, like, sure, yeah, add some veggies in there. That's what my roommate does. He will like throw we throw eggs in ours too, but he'll throw in an egg and broccoli or carrots or whatever the heck he wants to do. Just grabs some whatever veggies are in the house and puts them in the soup and it's good. And he's like, oh, I feel like more of an adult. He's 28, by the way. 29, I think. I don't know.
I mean, you still gotta feel like an adult, even if you're 29.
You gotta feel...
And that's like, when I'm in a habit of eating more regularly, I will have, like, a stockpile of, like, chopped green onions and vegetables, because it's kind of a pain to, like, buy a bushel of celery or green onions, only chop a bit, and then save it. It's like, no, chop it all, keep it in, like, a Tupperware container, and then just, like, throw it in stuff that you're using.
Even freeze it. I mean, once we move in together, we'll actually have freezer space, and we could do that.
You don't need to freeze. Freezing vegetables is actually really bad, because it really messes with the water content of them.
Oh, really?
Yo, yeah, especially if it's celery. Like, if you freeze that, and then, like, thaw it, like, that really messes with the structure and flavor of it, and it's just very difficult for it to... It'd be no real good. No real good would come from that.
The more you know.
I can buy elixirs. I can buy 2 elixirs. Oh, 3. Nice. You can make up for all of the terrible, terrible plays that I did last time on Last Play. And the prince is broke again.
Nice. Bachelor life.
Right? He really needs to get the advantage of my book. Oh, I can't even call it chocobo because no camping spots.
Okay, but you're playing him, so, like, you need to get the advantage of your book.
I mean, it's not even the food that's really making me bankrupt. It's all of these drugs that I keep buying.
It's friggin' drugs.
Like, I need the elixir. If without it, I will literally die. Gotta get another hit. That's why they don't have to, like, drink the potion. They just shoot it into their hand.
Yikes.
Just directly. Oh, because, like, when they shatter the glass, it probably... Why do people keep tapping me on the back? What up? Oh, nice. Yeah. Next time on Last Play, we will have this photo shoot with Prompto.
Oh, yeah.
Seaside Supermodels.
Seaside
What up?
Supermodels.
Nice. Next time on Last Play.